where do you want to go from here, right? We're not claiming any type of these gravities here. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you only need gravity to have a globe, right? For all of the crazy nonsense that comes along with having a globe, right? Like a ball floating in a vacuum with water and gas attached to the outside of the globe, right? Then you're going to need
Yeah.
some special gravity to be able to explain these things. But in reality, water needs a container,
Mm-hmm.
right? Things rise or sink due to relative density,
Mm-hmm.
and water is flat on the surface. It's very simple, just as we all experience and can test empirically.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, since I I don't have like really much knowledge about it, I'm just, making comments on things that I read or hear and trying to have some thoughts. And I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're good.
Yeah, we're just
Well, if
seriously
anyone has any
growing.
more questions, feel
Yes,
free
yes, I
to
have a question.
jump in. Go ahead.
Do you know a Cavendish experiment? Cavendish.
Cavendish, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
It's
So
about the gravity.
what was he trying to measure
It's
with
advance of
Cavendish?
gravity.
No, what was he trying to measure with Cavendish?
You don't know Cavendish?
Yeah, I know Cavendish. I was just checking
Okay,
if you
then.
know. Doesn't sound like you know Cavendish.
No, I know him. I know the account of him.
Okay, so what was he trying to achieve?
The gravity.
Incorrect. Do you need to go and look it up?
Yes. I can show you a video and the side chat.
No, you don't show me a video.
Yes.
I already understand. I don't need to be shown a video. I need you to explain to me, right? If you understand, right? So was Cavendish trying to determine the density of the Earth? Was that his goal? If you have to pause for the answer, it just shows me that you don't understand. You've not looked into Cavendish, and you don't understand what Cavendish was trying to
No,
do.
I understand you, but the language doesn't.
Yeah, he was trying to determine the density of the
My
Earth.
English.
With the Cavendish experiment, right? Cavendish was trying to determine the density of the Earth, right? All it shows is a tiny torsion movements under highly sensitive conditions. He had an indoor setup with air currents, electrostatics that weren't accounted for, vibrations, thermal drift, right? All of these things capable of producing the same effect. Right? No one's ever independently replicated that, especially under a vacuum or in isolated conditions where they've taken the possible confounding factors into account. Right? It also doesn't prove the cause of the effect. Okay, so we want to prove that gravity is the cause of an effect, not just show an effect and then claim that it's because of gravity. It's just an assumption. Safa, do you have any more questions?
Well, not at the moment, but I've been thinking about these things like last week, and like my Instagram explore page is just full of now universe and the space and what there has been and what's going on. And yeah, it's been seriously making my mind busy with that. And wow, it's seriously infinite. Like thinking about it is infinite, and the universe itself is infinite. I don't know. I'm like trying to, you know, take myself away from these subjects because I'm really into it, by the way. I really love to think about it, but the more I think, more it just pulls me in. And yeah, seriously infinite. About you,
Yeah, they're trying to wow you with some CGI graphics of the so-called heliocentric universe. What you'll probably find is most of the graphics they're showing you are just CGI generated.
Well, yeah, it is probably, but what do you think in general? Like,
Well,
you're saying that
it's like a big theoretical mathematical concept. Okay, so it exists in math, and then they'll turn that into graphics and things like that, and they'll say, oh, in on Uranus, the planet Uranus, it rains diamonds and it smells like farts, and then on Neptune it also rains diamonds, and then we have exoplanets where it rains sideways glass rain, and then we have all of these crazy claims, right? That you can't validate anything they're saying. It's just a belief system, and it's all just based off a mathematical concept, not off empirical evidence, not off reality. What we can do is actually go out and test the surface of the Earth to see if it's a globe. Okay, and when we go out and test the surface of the Earth, it can't possibly be a globe, right? If it's a globe, it has to have curvature. Okay, so they tell us that 70% of the surface of the globe is covered in water, oceans and seas, right, and lakes. So when we go to a large body of water, it would have to have a certain amount of curvature to it, right, because of gravity and because of the shape of the planet. So, oh, one second. Sorry, my wife was just leaving. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, gravity. Sorry, what were we talking about? We're talking about the curvature. The curvature.
Curvature, yeah, water curvature.
Yeah. Let me give you an example really quickly. I'll just give you an example. Can you see the side chat?
Just a sec.
Yeah,
Where
open
is
that
it?
up.
Full screen. Okay, wait. Oh, yes, I can see it now.
All right. So in this is an observation. I haven't posted it yet, but I'll post it now. So there'll just be some things uploading, right? So this is a 21-mile distance across the lake.
Yes.
Okay, so here's a screenshot from Google Maps just showing where the observation is taking place. This is the Great Salt Lake in Utah. And it's a good place to do observations because it doesn't have a lot of humidity, so you can see very long distances.
Clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very dry air, so we can see very clearly through it. Okay, so in this observation, this guy is setting up his camera on one side of the lake, and he's setting up his camera on a tripod 5 foot above the surface of the water. Okay, and he's going to zoom across the lake and try to test for the curvature. Okay, so over this distance, 21 miles, on a globe, you would have to have 293 foot of curvature. Okay, so 293 foot, that's almost 100 meters. And that's taller than the Titanic, right? That's the Titanic boat, right? That was 175 foot tall. Okay, so this is a big amount of curvature that we're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to put some math in the side chat, super simple math. Okay, this is the globe Earth mathematics. Okay, so anyone can go to Google and you can type in Earth curvature calculator, and you can put in the eye height, right, which is the height of the camera, 5 foot. Okay, so that's what we've put in. Then we've put in the target distance, which is the shoreline on the other side of the lake, 21 miles away. Okay, then we hit calculate, and we come up with a distance to horizon, 2.7 miles. Okay, so you know what the horizon is, right? On the globe, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah, I know. So
okay, cool.
with these numbers, we should have a curvature, right?
Well, we should see a horizon at 2.7 miles. And then we shouldn't be able to see any water beyond the horizon.
Okay, let me ask you this. There was another test, like this one, I guess, and they were, I believe, if I remember correctly, they are putting a light on it, and it was proving that the world, the Earth has a curvature. It's the globe. And have you watched that video? Let me
Yeah,
check.
it's a flawed
Well,
test.
yeah. what do you think about that? Yeah, what was wrong
It's
with
just it
that then?
doesn't. Okay, what's wrong with it is the
Yeah.
fact that the people that made that documentary, right? They
Yes.
were making a video to make Flat Earth look bad and to look stupid. Okay, so they edited the footage in a way that made it
Mhm.
look like the Flat Earther proved himself wrong.
Mhm.
Whereas they didn't actually show any footage of the test, right? They didn't show the setup. They showed
Mhm.
50 seconds worth of footage, which was mostly just close-ups of the Flat Earther's face, right? And that guy's a dumbass as well. You know, Jaren, his name was Jaren. So they
Mhm.
basically were just trying to make it look like he disproved the globe, right? They didn't show the test, right? They didn't show the setup. They showed him carving some holes in some cardboard, right? He was supposed to use a laser, but
Yeah.
apparently the laser broke, so they decided that they were going to use a flashlight.
Yes.
Okay, they didn't get the math right. They didn't
Mhm.
show the setup. They didn't. It was just basically a terrible
Yeah,
test.
I got you. I got you. So it's a scam,
Yeah,
basically. It's
you pretty
not
much,
it's not
pretty much.
actually acting as its purpose. So let me ask you this: what about? So you're saying
It's
that world is it's a flat circle, right?
no.
Okay. It's
Okay, no, definitely not. We're not saying that the Earth is a flat planet or a flat
oh,
circle.
okay. Okay.
That's
How
what
is it?
some people misconceive what we're talking about with flat Earth, and they
Mhm.
think that all they try to do, right? They think of the globe in outer space, and then they
Yes.
change that globe in their mind into a flat disk. Okay,
Oh,
that's wrong. That's crazy. We don't claim that. That would be stupid
okay.
if we were claiming
I
that, and
understand.
nobody should take us seriously if that's
Mhm.
what we were claiming. Okay, so we're not
Yeah.
claiming to know the shape of the Earth, right? We're not
But
claiming the Earth is a planet in the globe Earth version of outer space.
then what is it like? What's the
Completely
shape of?
different system. Yeah. So when we don't know, I think nobody knows the true shape of the Earth in
Oh,
its
okay.
entirety. Flat's not a shape, right? So when we say flat Earth, flat's not a
Exactly. We
yeah.
can
It's
think
like
of a lot
smooth.
of shapes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, flat, smooth, bumpy, right? They're descriptions of
Yes.
surfaces. Okay. So when we go out and test the surface of the Earth, there's no curvature, and that's the context here of flat Earth, right? That's what we mean when we're saying flat Earth. Most of the surface of the Earth that we're aware of is covered in water, and that water is not curving over distance. And that's where the term flat Earth comes from. Okay, obviously we have hills and valleys and mountains, but most of the surface is flat water. Okay, so it's like a topographical plane, right? Because there's topography, but most of the surface is water, and the water is flat on the surface
I
when we
mean,
measure it.
yeah, water will always be, flat on the surface. It's not, well, the water you wouldn't count water as the earth, it's
Well, it is part of the Earth. If you look up the
yeah,
definition
yeah,
of
yeah,
Earth,
exactly.
even
It
the
is
gas
part
is
of
considered
the
part of the Earth, right?
yes, yes,
Just like the
exactly.
tires are part of a car, right?
Exactly.
And
We
all
are.
together, yeah, yeah. So
If
the
everything we
Earth isn't
are
just dirt. Yeah, everything is. It's like all
part of an earth.
parts. Exactly. So the
So
water is part of the Earth.
yes, so if you need to go to center, you don't measure the shape of an object with what on it. You just take away everything on it, and then you see the shape, right? Because which one? What was the other one?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Think about this
gas.
though.
Yeah,
Think about
yeah, yeah,
this, right? Okay, so
yeah.
if you have the Pacific Ocean,
Mm-hmm.
it covers a large portion of the globe, right? So you
A
can't
lot.
have yeah, you can't have flat water and curving Earth underneath the water, right? Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
because of gravity on a globe, you would need gravity, and then because of gravity, right, you're going to have the water will be curving at a specific
Yeah.
rate, right? So when you look at the pictures of the Earth that NASA claims, right, you see
Mm-hmm.
water curving, right? So you don't have any flat water on Earth, right? You have curving water because of gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we can calculate very easily how much curvature there would have to be over a certain distance of water.
Yes.
Okay, so over this 21-mile lake, you have to have 293 foot of curvature. That means that the shoreline
Mm-hmm.
on the other side of the lake would be hidden behind the horizon and obstructed by 223 feet based
Yes.
from the height of the observer, okay? But in this observation, we don't see any curvature and we don't see any obstruction. Okay, you have to have that obstruction You have to have that curvature if the Earth's a globe. And every time we go out and measure and take these observations over the surface of the Earth, we don't find any curvature. And that's not possible on a globe. You have to have the
Okay.
curvature.
Let me ask you this. What do you think about the moon? What is moon?
I have no idea. I can't empirically test what the moon is.
No, exactly. I'm not expecting you to give me like a scientific like moon is blah blah blah. Whatever. No, I'm asking. Have you ever watched moon like with a telescope?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
the shape is circle, right?
Yeah, it looks circular. I would even say
Yeah,
it looks like a sphere to me, but the Earth has
yeah.
no. Yeah. So just because, okay, so
No, I'm
think
not
about
saying
it.
just because of that. Like Mars, Saturn, all of them. When you look at them, they are all in a globe shape. They are circle at least, as far as we
Right,
can
but
see.
what are they, and how far away are they, and what are they in, right? What medium are they in? And can you really tell exactly what shape things are when you're looking at them from a distance?
I mean, yeah, with those telescopes, I think it's a circle. You can call
Well,
a shape
okay, if you
a
look at the
circle.
raw images, if you look at the raw images through a telescope,
Yeah.
it's pretty difficult to tell what
To tell
shape something is, right? It's a very blurry little light that you see in the sky.
Yes.
It's not until
Yeah.
they run it through, like they stack thousands of images and then they enhance it to try to make it look more like the pictures that NASA show you that Mars should look like. Okay, but we don't know. Okay, they're claiming it's a certain size, a certain distance away, and it resides in a space vacuum. Okay, so we agree that we can all see something in the sky, but
Yes.
exactly how far away it is, exactly what it's made out of, how big it is, and what medium is it in, we don't know that, right? We can't test that empirically. We just have to
Exactly.
take their word for it. Like I could show you some objects right now. So if you have a look in the side chat now,
Yes.
okay, there's 4 objects. Okay, can you tell what
Uh-huh.
shape they are just by looking at them?
I mean, they are circle, right?
But do you know what shape they are? Because a circle just means like
I mean,
a
one of
circles.
them looks like an egg, I'm not sure what it's called in English, but yeah, like
They look
they
like
are.
spheres, right? It looks like 4 spheres.
Yes. Yes, I would say.
Okay, but what if I were to tell you that only one of those is a sphere? Would you be able to tell me which one?
I don't think so, no.
Right. So, and how would we test to know what they are?
I mean, I don't know, with these lake tests, I guess.
Well, what if someone, went to them and checked what they are?
I mean, yeah, also that, but
Yeah, that
it's
would
really
work.
huge. Yeah, exactly. That will work.
Right. But what if we can't do that? What if we can't ever check what they are? We can just see the little tiny blurry things that look like round dots in the sky.
Yes.
So we,
Yes.
we don't really know what they are, do we?
Nope.
Okay, so
We
so
just
only one of these is a sphere. One of them's flat, one of
one of
them's a
them's
ball,
uh-huh.
one of them's flat, one of them's a ball,
Yes. So
and
I
one of
guess
them's a sphere, and one of them's half a sphere.
okay. So I guess the third one, I mean from the left, is flat, right?
Third one from the
I mean,
left.
it's okay, okay, from the right it's second one, from the left it's third one. Yeah. Is that the flat one?
No, I think that one's a ball. I'm just trying to find the GIF that goes
Which
along with
one?
that shows you what they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
So I think the one on the far left is the globe, is a ball, and then
Okay.
the one next to that. Okay, so the one on the
The
far left
pinky one,
is a
right?
ball. The
Yeah.
the pinky one is the flat one,
That's the
and then the
flat one.
one, yeah, then the third one from the left, right, is
Yes.
a bowl, right? It's a bowl.
Okay.
So you're looking
Okay.
at a concave bowl, and then the one on the far right, I think that's like a half a sphere,
And
a
the
hemisphere.
left one is the sphere, right?
It, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
But it's
the
very
first
difficult to
one on the
tell.
left.
I don't remember if I might have flipped this image upside down, so I might even be wrong myself. That's why I'm just trying to
Yeah,
find the I'm trying to find
because
the video.
like
The point is that look, the only point of this is it's very difficult to tell what shape something is empirically just by looking at it in the
yeah,
sky,
but
right?
we
I'm
can
not.
agree that all of them has a curvature, right? No matter
Yeah,
if
but one
they're
of them's a
flat
bowl,
or
right? Well, you're looking at
yeah.
the inside of a bowl, right? And the
Hmm.
flat one doesn't have curvature. The flat one, I mean, the flat one has curvature around the outside, right? Like a
Yeah,
circle.
yeah, he's missing the point, isn't he? You can't tell the shapes of those things just by looking at them. So when you look at the moon, what are you actually looking at? Unless you can go there to confirm what you think you're looking at. That's the point, you see. Right. That's the point he's trying to raise. Bear that in mind. Not all what you
Yeah,
look at
look, this
appears to be what it seems.
No,
yeah,
I
and
got
this look,
you,
this is
but
my main point. This is my main point. Look, let's just say I were to grant you that some things in the sky are balls. Okay?
mhm,
That doesn't mean that the earth that you're standing on is also like what you can see in the sky, right? You can have light bulbs on your ceiling
exactly.
that are all round, right? That doesn't mean that your floor is also round. Okay? The earth doesn't have any characteristics that any of the things that you're looking at in the sky have. Okay? You don't see any curvature here on the earth, and when we test for the curvature, there isn't any. Okay? We experience a flat stationary floor, right? Like the floor of the universe, you could think of it, right? Or the foundation
Mhm,
of this system that we live in. It doesn't have any relevance to the things that you can see in the sky. That's like me looking at a tree and thinking, oh, well, I must also be a tree because I can see
mhm,
trees over in the distance, right? It's terrible logic. But I understand the logic because we're all taught from a young age that everything is in this big space vacuum and that we're a planet. We're like all of the other planets in this big space vacuum. So it's perfectly logical that you are to make that assumption, right? But the flat Earth system is a completely different system. It doesn't exist inside the heliocentric model of outer space. It's completely
mhm,
different. Yeah. So you could think of the Earth system more like an enclosed system, kind of like all of the ancient cultures depicted, right? All of the ancient cultures depicted a flat surface within an enclosed
mhm,
system. And
mhm,
I would argue that the globe Earth violates natural law, right? It violates the second law of thermodynamics. Okay,
mhm.
it violates multiple gas laws, right? Because they say that outer space is a big giant vacuum, right? Deep
Yes,
space is a 10 to the negative 17 tall vacuum, and we're inside that vacuum. Okay, so we're a ball that's covered in
yes,
water, and then there's gas all over the outside, right? So we have 14.7 psi gas pressure here that we're breathing, and all of this is existing within inside a giant space vacuum, right? That's the claim.
mhm,
That's not possible due to the laws of nature. Okay, gas fills available space, right? You can't have a gas pressure system inside a vacuum chamber. You can't have water inside a vacuum chamber. So what we're saying is that we have gas pressure. Okay, gas pressure requires containment. We have water.
mhm,
Okay, water also requires the gas pressure, and it also requires containment, right? So to have a large body of water, you need a container. Okay, so if you have a bath or a pond or a pool or anything like that, it's a container, right? The low spot in the ground would be containing the water, whether it be a pond or a pool or a puddle or a lake. And then the surface of the water, right, due to the way fluid dynamics works, is that the water would collapse on itself and it will form a flat surface on the top of the water. And that's what we can go out and measure. If the Earth were a globe, that water would have to be curving at a specific rate. And when we go out and test it, it's not doing that. It's flat.
So let me ask you this: how many tests are there that proves Earth doesn't have a curvature or it's flat, like correct test?
Thou-
And how
Thousands.
many? Yeah. What is it? I'll
Thousands?
seriously, thousands.
Yeah,
Can
there's
you send me?
thousands, and
Yeah, can
then
you
from
send
the
me a
globe
couple
side,
of them? I'm really, by the way, going to
yeah,
research about it and see. I'm not trying to just argue or give you opposite things. I'm seriously
sure,
want to go and check it.
sure.
Like,
I'll
well,
put a good
how
one
can I
in.
find it?
I'll
Let's
put
say,
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Send me a
All
good
right.
one, and I will check it with like I don't know Google, ChatGPT, and see how is it, what's going on there.
Sure. You got to remember
Yeah.
that ChatGPT is just going to feed you the mainstream narrative unless you
I
really
mean
push it. You need to
that's
push it
the thing.
beyond just its parroting of the mainstream. Like my
Well,
ChatGPT. Okay, so if you have to formulate these questions in the right way when you're talking to an AI with these observations, right? So you could put in, okay, let's go over one right now. Okay,
yeah, let's say
and
what give
I
me a
can put
test
it
name.
in into my ChatGPT as we're going over it.
Yeah, let's do it together. I'll do mine and you do yours. And tell me what's the name of the test, and I'll just ask ChatGPT what's this test and how correct it is. And
Well,
you do
ChatGPT is not going to know this test
why not?
because ChatGPT, right? Regular ChatGPT, it just pulls. It's
mean,
just basically like a Google search engine, an advanced search engine.
yeah,
So
if
it's
it's
just
on
going to
the
pull
internet,
whatever it can find. Yeah, but
yeah, yeah.
this is censored information on the internet,
And
right? So flat Earth information is shadow banned on
okay.
Google, on Facebook, on YouTube, right? So I'm going to post you a link to the test right now, but
Yeah, yeah, send
you
me.
can put the details of the test into the
Yes,
chat.
yes, yes. If I'll just say give those numbers that you gave it to me, and let's say we run this test, should be able to see a horizon or not, something like that.
Okay, so
You
the
know, I'm
first
not
thing you
gonna
could
ask
okay,
that.
so the first thing you could do is go on your ChatGPT right now and
Okay,
ask it. Yep.
Okay, just a sec. Let me. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so say I'm going to perform an observation over the ocean on a still clear day.
Over the ocean, still clear day, you said, right?
Yes. Right. Okay, so if I place my camera at 3.5 feet observer height.
Camera, 3.5 feet, you
5.
said, right?
Yep, 3.5 feet observer height. What distance would the horizon be if the Earth were a globe?
And
Sorry, or what distance would the horizon be from that observation height? You don't have to mention a
oh,
globe, it will
yeah,
automatically think that.
yeah. What distance? The horizon, you said, right?
Yep.
Horizon. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the last part.
Yeah, what
Horizon
distance would the
would be
horizon be from that height?
high, and would we able to see it?
Well, don't ask it if we'd be able to see it. Of course, we'll be able to see it.
Uh-huh.
You can ask it that though if you want. That's fine.
Yeah, I just right now it's thinking.
Which AI are you using, by the way?
It's ChatGPT. I just Google
Oh, okay.
ChatGPT. Yeah. What do you think about it?
My ChatGPT will say that your ChatGPT just regurgitates mainstream information. Which is fine because we can just what you're trying to do now is learn how far away the horizon would be.
Still thinking. Yeah, it's stuck now. Okay, yeah, they don't want us to see, huh? But no, it's seriously still thinking. Should I refresh the page? Okay, let me copy that and then refresh it.
Right, I'm gonna type the same thing in my
Yeah,
ChatGPT
you do it,
as well.
You do it.
Okay, so I'll copy paste everything into the side chat.
And you can read it if you don't want to. Yeah, copy paste it. Giving me answers now. So
I gave
you
it a
want me
bit
to
more
read it or?
detail.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, you can read it, or you can
Like,
you could
I
just
can
read the
copy.
answer, right? It should give you
Yeah,
an
yeah, the
answer of
quick,
the
yeah,
distance.
yeah, it gave me the quick answer. So if your camera lens is 3.5 feet above the sea surface, the geometric horizon where sea and sky meet will be about 3.69 kilometer away. That's 2.29 miles and 1.99 nautical miles. I guess this is about sea.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
normal atmospheric reaction on a clear day, the horizon can appear a bit farther, typically 8% farther, roughly 2.49 miles, four
Yeah, that's correct.
kilometers away. Yeah, and
Okay,
it's just
okay.
giving me how he got that with the,
Yep.
the and
Okay, so
yeah,
let's look at some information now
saying that
before
it
we
should be.
exactly. Okay, so
Mhm.
this is the specific mathematics here.
Yes.
Okay, so I've put this in the side chat. So we have an eye height level of 3.5 foot, and then we have the distance, the target distance is 11.2 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because we have a windmill farm out in the ocean that we're going to be looking at. Okay,
Yes.
and it says, just like your ChatGPT said, the distance to the
Mhm.
horizon would be 2.29 miles,
Yes.
or we could account for standard refraction as well, and that would
Yes.
take it up to about, 2.4 miles or something like that if you add 8% on to account for refraction. Okay, so now let's look at the observation. Now we're going to test for that. Okay, so we're going to test for that horizon now. Okay, so I'm just uploading the observation. Okay, so this guy's name is Dr. John D. He holds a PhD in optics,
Yes.
and he's the one that's doing the observation. Okay, so this is just a clip out of a full-length video. Okay, so he set his camera up at 3.5 foot height at this shoreline of the ocean on a clear day with no waves.
Yes.
And there's a wind farm out in the ocean. So when he zooms in, you can see the wind farm towers, the windmill towers. Okay,
Yes.
the windmill tower on the far right, that's the furthest one. That's 11.2 miles away. Okay, so if we didn't have the distance markers, right? So the wind farm is a distance marker, because if there was no distance marker, we would have no idea how far away the horizon is. Okay, you're just looking out into
Yes.
the ocean and you can't gauge the distance to the horizon just with your eyes. Because we have the distance marker, we can now tell that, okay, the horizon is not in front of the windmill towers. Okay, so we don't see that horizon at 2.29 miles. In fact, we can see the water is just flat all the way out past the 11.2 mile windmill tower. And you can see the windmill tower touching with the water as well. Okay, so we don't have that horizon at 2.29 miles or at 2.4 miles, accounting for standard refraction.
Yes.
Okay, that horizon has to be there if the Earth's a globe. Okay, you shouldn't be able to see any water beyond the horizon. Okay, so here's a diagram showing you. The horizon is where the sky and the ground appear to meet. That's the definition of horizon. You can look that up if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, so you shouldn't be able to see any water past 2.29 miles, and the bottom 50 foot of that windmill farm should be hidden by the curvature of the Earth. But we can see the water goes way past the horizon where it should be, and then way past the windmill towers, and you can actually see a boat off in the distance far beyond. Okay, so this doesn't align with the globe. So what do you think would be the next question to ask your ChatGPT?
I would ask, give me the correct test, has been happened over the years, and show me the correct test that proves Earth is flat. Show me the over years, how many tests that proves it's flat, and how many of them proves that it's curved.
Well, I'm showing you a test now that disproves the curvature.
And
right, we're not using this test to prove it's flat because it's obviously flat. If there's no curvature, then it's flat, right? If you have a surface that's not curving, it's by default flat. Okay, so what we're doing is we're looking for the curvature. Okay, so we have a test here that debunks the curvature rate of a globe. So you could actually ask it now, say in the observation.
Well, these tests you didn't test them, right? You are also consuming whatever they put on the internet as these tests, right?
No,
So,
anyone can
uh-huh.
go and repeat these tests themselves, right? I
Oh,
used to
okay.
live on the biggest saltwater lake in Australia called Lake Macquarie, and I did at
Yes.
least 20 tests myself over large distances of about 20 kilometers.
Yeah.
So I've gone and repeated this just for my own personal clarification. Okay, so this isn't like outer space stories that you can never test. This is an empirical test that you're seeing the entire test done start to finish in high definition, right? Not something that you don't have to rely on faith. We encourage people to have a look at multiple of these tests. And then if you want to, you can go and do this yourself, right? So then you can know that, yes, I can see too far, and the observation doesn't match up with what would have to be present if the Earth were a globe. Okay, so this is empirical evidence.
Well,
It's not faith-based evidence because you can go and check it yourself
okay,
if you need to.
can we see it by our naked eyes? The curvature, I mean. Because when I asked
No, we're not looking for
ChatGPT,
curvature. We're not looking for curvature. We're looking for obstruction due to curvature.
I mean,
So you're not going to see a curving horizon, okay? So
exactly,
you're going
because
to
we are
see a
not that
flat
big.
horizon, okay, but it just told you that the distance to the horizon,
Mm-hmm.
right, would be at what distance? What distance did it tell you the horizon would be at?
2.9, something like that. Let me check.
Okay,
Just a
ask it.
sec. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's 2.9, 29 miles.
Okay, and why is it at that distance?
Well, I don't know. It's just
Well, it's because of
I
the
didn't
curvature of
write
the
it
Earth,
down.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
you should be able to see any water beyond the horizon.
But let me ask you this. When I ask if we can see it with our naked eyes, it says over that distance. So you can't directly see Earth's curvature with your naked eyes from ground level because the Earth is very large compared to your height. But you can detect its effect in several clear, visible ways. It just keeps going. So at human eye level, 1.7 7 meter or 5.5 feet, the horizon is only 2.7 kilometer, which is 2.9 miles away. Over that distance, the surface curves down just about 0.002, way too subtle sub subtly, whatever, I can't read it, for our eyes to notice. So the horizon looks flat simply because you are very close to it, relatively to Earth's size. So
Okay.
that's
Okay,
also,
so
that's
listen
why,
carefully. Listen
yeah.
carefully. We're not looking for horizon to be curving. We're looking
Uh-huh.
for things beyond the horizon to be obstructed behind the curvature of the Earth, right? Behind the
hmm
horizon. Okay, so ask it right now. Say, okay, so if
Okay.
there were a windmill farm, if there were a windmill in the ocean
Mm-hmm.
11.2 miles away, would the
Oh, shit.
bottom portion of the windmill be missing behind the curvature of the Earth?
Where you gotta slow down? I can't type that high. Yeah, 11.2 miles away.
Yeah.
I
There's so say I can write it in the side chat if you want
Yeah,
to.
I mean, yeah, I just got if there was a windmill in the ocean, 11.2 miles away,
Yeah,
uh,
2 miles away.
yeah, you type it down.
And I'll just type it down.
Uh-huh. Where are you from, by the way?
Australia.
Nice.
I'm in Poland at the moment.
Cool. Are you like majored on these fields, or what do you do?
Oh, I'm a bit of an entrepreneur myself, right? I run
Oh,
online companies, but
nice.
I've been researching this topic and
Uh-huh.
the fields surrounding this topic, such as
Yeah.
optics and refraction and things like that for the last 8 years.
Last eight
So I know a bit
years.
about these
So,
particular questions
yeah,
and
exactly.
optics and light and things like that. So
So, so we can say that the last 8 years, you don't think Earth has a curvature or it's not exactly close,
yeah, like
right?
the last 7 years. The first year
Yeah.
was the research.
And oh,
And for me, it's been the last 10 years that the
Last
Earth
10
has
years. And how
not.
about
Yeah,
you? How about
yeah,
you?
it's
Where
been
are you
10 years
from?
of
And
this.
are you majored
Yeah,
on earth
I was
field?
born in England, London, England. I'm an
Uh-huh.
African who was born in London, England. I am now talking to you from Japan.
Nice. I love Japan. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Turkey.
Where?
Turkey.
Turkey, right?
Yes.
Turkey, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Istanbul. Okay.
Yeah. Have you been there before?
No, it's a place that I do want to visit for its historical
Yeah,
content and architecture. Yeah, I haven't been there yet. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
my wife's parents just went for a holiday. It was beautiful there, but they said it was like
Yeah.
46 degrees Celsius or
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah, it's
Oh wow, they had
really
a heat
hot.
wave. Yeah,
It gets
nice.
Yeah,
really
crazy
hot.
heat wave. But it was beautiful, like really, really amazing, the
Yes,
photos they brought back.
environment-wise. Yeah, environment-wise,
Okay,
it's good. Yes.
here's the question in the side chat. Okay, so
Gotcha.
I'll read it out as well while you copy paste it. So if there was a windmill in the ocean 11.2 miles away and the observer height was 3.5 foot, would the bottom portion of the windmill be hidden behind the curvature of the Earth?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now it's just giving me the steps to do it, but let's see conclusion. Okay, I'm reading the conclusion at 11.2 miles distance and 3.5 feet observer height, roughly 75 to 80 feet of the bottom of the windmill will be hidden behind the curvature of the Earth, depending on refraction. So,
Okay, so ask it.
so
Yep. So it already told you before that
yeah.
you can add 8% for standard refraction on there. Because we have very clear conditions, right? We don't have any crazy refraction or anything like that going on. We can see in the observation that it looks the same as it looks from close up.
Mhm.
Okay, so have a look in the side chat again. Okay, so it actually got the
Yes.
math a little bit wrong, right? So it said there should be more hidden. Really, the answer is 52 feet that should be hidden from that
to
observer
be
height.
hidden, right?
So
Yes.
ChatGPT doesn't do very well when it comes to basic math sometimes for some reason. But anyway, it gave an even worse answer for the globe.
Yeah, but you know why is that? Because if it's taking the windmill, the height of the windmill is like 300 feet. We didn't specify the height of
But it
the
doesn't matter what
windmill.
height the windmill is. It doesn't matter if
mean-
the windmill is 100 miles high or 10 or 1 mile
But
high
we
or
should be
50
see
foot
the
high. Because the
gotcha.
bottom portion, we just want to know how much of the bottom portion should be missing. Okay, so have a look at the observation. We see that there's zero of the bottom portion of the windmill missing in the observation. And then I posted a close-up photo of the bottom of the windmills as well, just so you can see that in the observation, it looks the same as it's very clear conditions.
So with your calculation, the conclusion, according to ChatGPT, is like with naked eyes at 3.5 feet height, you would see the top part of the windmill, but the bottom 56 is 52. Yeah, so 52 feet would be hidden behind the curvature. It will
Yes.
look like emerging from the water, not sitting fully on the surface.
Correct. Which is not what we see when we go out and make these observations.
So let me ask this. How can I observe?
What was the question? How can you observe what?
Yeah. How can I observe the curvature of the Earth simply? Like as a casual day, it's just giving me some answers. Like watch a ship disappear bottom first.
Standard
So
global stuff.
Go to the beach
See,
or lake.
that's what we're testing. That's what we're testing right here.
That's
Yeah.
climb higher, watch the horizon more move away, and look out the airplane window on a clear flight, observe different stars in the sky, use a long lens across the lake. So I guess the most practical one for me since I don't have a big telescope or I'm not gonna climb any higher, mountain. It will be just watching the ships disappearing.
Okay, so we just debunked that with this observation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so ask it at what distance would the ship start to become obstructed behind the horizon from a 3.5 foot observation height, right? It's the same answer, right? It's going to say that, let's just say that this windmill was a ship.
Mm-hmm. So
okay, at the bottom 72 feet, it said in your answer, would be hidden behind the horizon, but that's obviously not the case. In fact, we can see a boat in this observation that's 14 miles away, and there is no obstruction, and you wouldn't be able to see that boat at all if the Earth were a globe. So you could ask it now.
I'm asking like at what distance would ship disappear?
Well, yeah, what distance would the ship start to disappear from the bottom up?
So distance horizon, blah blah blah. Ship visibility. The bottom of the ship disappears first because of the Earth's curvature. If the ship is tall, let's say 100, you can see the top, blah blah blah, below horizon, the maximum. Okay, give me the answer. Okay, that means that ships would still be visible at 15 miles. The bottom would be hidden behind the curvature. Okay. So when the ship totally disappear, because so let's say there's a ship passing through like Pacific Ocean. According to these tests, we would be able to see no matter how far ship is. If we check with a telescope, like really high one that we are checking the space with it, we will be able to see the ship.
Yeah, but the air is not completely transparent. So if you check the weather report in any location, it will tell you the maximum visibility rating. So even if you have the world's most powerful telescope, the ship's still going to fade away into the density of the air.
Yeah, you would have to remove all the air, turn it into a vacuum. Then that's the only way you're going to see it, because on a normal day, there's so many weather systems over a given distance. Let's say you've got a distance of 2,000 miles. Well, within that distance, you're going to have weather to contend with.
Okay.
Right?
So yeah, that's also correct. I asked like the totally, disappears at distance less than this. So less than 14.7 miles, you'll see some or all of the ship. At distance greater than this, which is 14.7 miles, the entire ship is hidden behind the curvature. So I think we can, 14.7 mile, how far is it in kilometers?
It's about 22, 23.
Yeah,
So
22, 23 kilometers, yeah.
So 22,
But that's
23.
completely hidden, right? So even when it's at 10,
So
even
50
when it's at 10
miles,
miles, it would be
still,
hidden by 50 foot approximately. The bottom 50
something
foot
like
would be
that.
missing.
So after 15 miles, we shouldn't be seeing any ships, according to this.
Yeah, none of the ship at all.
check
But I
that.
guarantee you will see that ship. You'll be able to see it.
I'll see if I can see it.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it. All right.
You can't see it, and we've got observations that show ships, that show features past that height, past that distance.
Yeah, that's it. Past that distance. That's right. Yeah, and laser beam
so the
tests,
horizon from
targets have been hit.
The horizon should
targets have been hit.
The
Sorry,
horizon. The horizon should be at 2.3 miles from that observer height, right? So less than 3 miles away. That's where the horizon should be, right? The horizon line. As soon as the ship goes past the horizon line, the bottom of the ship should start to disappear behind the curvature of the Earth. Okay, we're not seeing that horizon line at all at anywhere close to that distance that we're showing.
Weird.
Right, have a look at this next observation. Okay, so we've got something similar to a ship in this next observation.
Which one?
Okay, we have some oil platform. Yeah, I haven't posted it yet, so here it is. This is out of a video. It's just a clip that's out of a video.
Yeah, I already posted it. I think if you're talking about the black swan, I posted it already. You just scroll back, it's there. I posted the video and the picture.
Yeah, I
Right, so
watched
let's
those videos.
okay,
Yeah.
so let's just have a look at this one. Okay, we have an
Mhm.
8-foot observation height. That means the horizon should be at 3.4 miles away. Okay, but once again, we have some oil platforms, okay? And we can see that the horizon is beyond both of the oil platforms. Now, the closest oil platform is 6 miles away, and the furthest
Yes.
platform is 10 miles away. Okay, so we can see the horizon is far beyond the second oil platform. On a globe, that horizon should be at 3.4 miles away, halfway to the first oil platform, basically. But it's not there.
Mhm.
Okay, so picture the oil platform as a ship, if you want to, right? It's the same kind of thing. We
Yes.
don't see any of the oil platform missing, right? We can see the whole oil platform, and we can see the horizon beyond the oil platform. On a globe, you shouldn't be able to see any water beyond the horizon, right? All of the water should be hidden behind the horizon, because the horizon is where the sky and the ground appear to meet, right? You don't see water past the horizon. Okay, so here's another observation that doesn't match with the globe at all. We can see in orders of magnitude further than you would be able to see. You can add 8% on if you want for your standard refraction, but that's not going to help, right? That's going to make the horizon about 3.7 miles away. It's just we're seeing the horizon far beyond 10 miles away. All right, so I'm going to show you an even longer distance now. Okay, so this is the Great Salt Lake in Utah.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a 21-mile observation. That's about 34 kilometers. Okay, so over this distance, there should be 293 foot of curvature. So since we're talking about boats, right, you know the Titanic?
Yes.
Pretty big boat, right? So the Titanic was 175 foot tall. Okay, so in this observation, he's got his camera set up at 5 foot high. And if you picture, right, just as a hypothetical, the Titanic is where the observer is. Okay, the giant Titanic. If the Titanic were to sail from where he is over to the other side of the lake at 2.7 miles, the Titanic would reach the horizon. And then once it goes beyond the horizon, the bottom of the Titanic would start to disappear behind the curvature of the Earth as the Titanic sails over to the other side of the lake 21 miles away. Now, once the Titanic is at 10 miles away, the bottom 66 feet of the Titanic would be hidden behind the horizon. By the time the Titanic got to the other side of the lake, you shouldn't be able to see the Titanic at all. It would be completely hidden behind the horizon due to the curvature of the Earth. But in this observation, he can zoom all the way across the lake. We don't see the horizon at 2.7 miles. We don't even see a horizon over the entire 21 miles. He can zoom in and he can see the shoreline on the other side of the lake. Okay, zero obstruction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you can see once again, all we're seeing here is a flat water, no curvature. There's 293 foot of missing curvature here. It has to be there if the Earth's a globe, and it's not there.
I'll check that. I will really check that.
Yeah. No, that's all we ask people to do, right? You don't have to
Yeah,
believe what we're saying. Just
exactly.
look into it. You put on your critical thinking cap and try to
Observe it
debunk it.
yourself. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm never type of guy just defends an idea. I'm just trying to find what can be a counter to my idea and dig into that. Because maybe like all the answer will be there anyways. If I don't like make the research with you, I wouldn't understand what you mean.
Mhm.
So
Right.
in order to find what is correct or incorrect, I need to check all of it.
I
'Cause
agree. That's what I did.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Don't believe what we're saying. Just look into it and come to your own conclusion. That's the only way
Yes.
that this works.
Yes. Because these days, whatever you do, whatever you make the research, it's like always, it's not that 100% correct anymore with the internet that we are using right now.
Yep.
So
That's right.
yeah. Anyway, it's really good talking to you. Thank you so much. It was a
Oh, you're
really
welcome.
great, yeah, it was a great
I appreciate
conversation
it.
with you. And Jin, thank you so much. And yeah, you guys have a great day.
Awesome, man. You too. Are
Yeah.
you heading off now or what?
Yeah, I'm heading off. I'll go out,
Okay.
Yeah. All
All
right,
right,
take
man.
care.
Well, enjoy the rest
Uh-huh.
of your day and see you next
Thank
time.
you. You too. You too. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.